Are you lovesick? In this video we give you 15 tips on how to overcome your lovesickness, which will definitely help you immediately. When it comes to separation or unrequited love, lovesickness can hit you hard. The pain can last for days, weeks, but also months and even years, and is accompanied by feelings of listlessness, powerlessness, senselessness, and emptiness. Usually, you go through 4 phases of lovesickness. In the first phase, you do not want to acknowledge the situation, while in the next phase, your feelings arise again and the situation is realized. After that comes the reorientation phase, and in the last phase, the new life begins in which you have overcome the breakup. This can be a long way to the end. To help you to end your lovesickness faster or to be better prepared for the next situation, we will give you 15 tips to deal with your lovesickness much better. Tip number 1. Let the pain out and give yourself time. It is completely normal to be sad and devastated after breakup or unrequited love, as the pain of separation and lovesickness is comparable to the grief of a deceased person. So, to be able to process the situation faster, you should allow yourself to let your pain out. Therefore, cry if you feel like it and crawl into your room if you want to. Eat what you feel like eating and take care of yourself completely. Here, it doesn't help to suppress the pain because it won't go away, and if you do it anyway, it will even come to you again in case you get reminded of it. Tip number 2. Talk open about your feelings. It also helps to talk about your lovesickness with your family and friends, because in this way you can sort out your feelings and express them. It is also helping because you will gain encouragement and understanding. Thus, you can process your pain better. In addition, physical closeness, like a hug, also has the effect of letting your feelings out and accepting the situation more quickly. Tip number 3. Break off contact with your ex-partner. The first step in overcoming your lovesickness is to break off the contact with the person who caused the grief. This means that you will no longer accept messages via WhatsApp, SMS, or even phone calls. Meeting is also a taboo, just like continuing to be connected on social networks. While this may be a drastic step that hurts extremely, it will make your grief last for a shorter time, since this step is comparable to a drug addict who is in rehab. Your ex-partner is the drug you should stay away from. Tip number 4. Do not get into friendship immediately after the breakup. As already mentioned, you should break off the contact with your ex-partner, even if the classic thing is to say that you want to stay friends. This is definitely not possible directly after the breakup. In the long run, you can become friends again, but this is only possible if there are no more feelings left and after the breakup has been processed. Tip number 5. Get rid of mementos. You can only accept the breakup or unrequited love if you do not always think of the wonderful memories that you had or could have had with that person. Therefore, learn to let go. Don't look at photos of the person who causes the sadness, and also get rid of mementos. You don't have to throw everything away, but you can also take all these things out of your field of vision. This includes clothes, decorations, jewelry, cuddly toys, pillows, and other things you associate with that person. You should also either delete digital photos from your device or save them to a USB stick. Another option would be to put them into a box or carton, for example. You can also ask a good friend to pick them up or to hide them. Tip number 6. Eat accordingly and sleep well. During this time, you should treat your body well. Therefore, eat, drink, and sleep enough. Even if you do not feel like sleeping or eating, you should not deny your body this, because you will only weaken your body even more. If you cannot eat, then it's better to eat small meals or snacks. In this case, you should mainly eat nerve foods, for example, food with a lot of magnesium or food that boosts the production of happiness hormones. Nuts, avocados, whole meat products, bananas, pineapples, and chocolate would be perfect here. However, if you don't feel like eating at all, drink a smoothie, milkshake, or a hot chocolate for more energy. And if you can't sleep because you have a lot of thinking to do, try to let this thought run free during the day. Here it can also help to write a diary in which you write down your feelings. Reading before going to bed will also take your mind off things. Tip number 7. Understand and accept the breakup. If you suffer so badly from the breakup because you think your ex was perfect for you, make a list of things that speaks against him or her. Here, write down aspects that you did not like about your ex-partner. If you can't think of anything, then write down the reasons why you fought. Write down your problems as precisely as possible and bring them to your mind during the breakup phase in order to get away from that person. Tip number 8. Self-pity is now taboo. People who are abandoned often tend to feel sorry for themselves and present themselves as victims during the breakup. Yet detach yourself from this thought. Instead, make yourself aware that you had a great time with your ex-partner. He or she enjoyed the time probably as much as you did. Otherwise, he or she would not have been with you. Therefore, the breakup was probably also not easy for this person. Keep the beautiful moments in mind and release yourself from self-pity. Tip number 9. Increase your self-esteem. Your self-esteem has probably suffered from the breakup, especially if you have been cheated and lied to. But don't blame yourself and look ahead. In this case, be thankful that you are now separated from that person. Tell yourself more times a day that you deserve someone better. To show you that you are lovable, write down what you like about yourself. These can be character attributes or physical traits about you, and read them as much as you want. Tip number 10. Distract yourself and go outside. Loneliness only makes you realize that you have lost someone at your side. Although you probably won't feel the need to leave the house right now, you should do so from time to time, since having distraction and enjoying your life helps you to think positively. Even though there will always be moments of sadness that come up suddenly, you will still have phases in which you don't think about the breakup. For this reason, you can leave for a weekend, visit your family, or start a new hobby. Tip number 11. Do sports for better confidence. If you're unhappy with your body or just want to clear your mind, then sports is the best choice. Sport also releases endorphin, which makes you feel happy and better. With a fit and healthy body, you also strengthen your self-confidence, which gives you a completely different appearance. You will soon notice that you are a really great catch and that you do not need your ex-partner anymore. Tip number 12. Do things your ex-partner has stopped you from doing. In order to see more of the good in the breakup, you should now do things your ex-partner has stopped you from doing. Maybe he didn't like you going out with your friends in the evening. Maybe he didn't want you to dress too sexy or to go on a vacation with friends. Do those things now. Just do something good for yourself and enjoy it. Tip number 13. Let it go with a farewell letter. If you already notice that you have slowly processed the breakup and your lovesickness, you can do the remaining step with a ritual to let it go. For example, you can write a farewell letter. Write in there what you want to say as goodbye to your ex-partner. When you are finished, burn, shred or tear this letter. Think of it as a farewell. Instead of a letter, you can also get a photo of your ex-partner, tell him right to his face what you would like to say, and then tear, burn or shred it. Tip number 14. Learn from your ex-relationships for the future. When you have gotten over your ex-relationship, it will be helpful for future relationships to reflect on it. Considering that, think about what went wrong and why. This will enable you to see the mistakes clearly, and it also makes it possible to avoid them in your next relationship. Also, this reflection serves as a final closing for your psyche. With this concluding thought, you can finally engage in friendship with your ex-partner or start a new relationship. Tip number 15. Prepare for the next chapter. Now it's time to think about you. Think about exactly what you want. Define your goals, dreams, and wishes for the future and pay attention only to yourself here. If your ex-partner comes to you again and asks for a second chance, think carefully whether the relationship still meets your expectations and wishes. You are the top priority now, and this should remain so. With these thoughts, go into your new phase of life positively and full of energy. Those were the tips. Remember, everyone needs their own amount of time to get over the pain of a breakup. Give yourself the time you need and then start your new life. If these tips have helped you, I would be very happy to get a thumbs up. Also, leave me a comment to tell me about your experience with this topic. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel and also click on the bell so that you won't miss a new video.